So a friend of mine hit me up and said, I'm looking at your Facebook and your LinkedIn and all that, and a friend, this person who has a job opening
Oh,
on the
okay.
DL. Can you connect us? So in my
All
mind,
right.
I'm like, I love this
Mm-hmm.
because I love to help people. Like I love to like connect people and help people. And I love secrets. So
Right.
it's like, ooh, you're looking for a new job? But it just got me thinking. That's who was just texting me. He's like, hey, have you sent that yet? And so this is what I wanted to talk about. I just started thinking about it, is the way that we approach our companies and our careers and sort of the climate that we're in now. And my sister-in-law, a she is an HR exec, and she
Okay.
told me, Roxanne, never ever have anything in your office because you don't know when you're going to be asked to leave. So she's like head of HR at this, high up company. Our office is bare because she said either I'm walking out and I'm done and I don't have
Yeah.
to take somebody to pack up, or they're getting rid of me and I don't want to be walking out with scoops of things in my hand. So this guy reaching out to me, it just got me thinking about how I think women are more guilty of this, although my sister-in-law is the exception. We give ourselves to a company and we feel loyalty to them.
Oh,
And
well,
like
yeah.
we're going to do whatever's asked of us, and we're going to, I mean, that's what you do as a job, you do your duties. But I just thought to myself, like, we really should always, and my sister-in-law told me this, you should be looking for the next best thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's you have to remember, companies, not we can't get mad at them. They're not built to support us.
Right.
They have to support stockholders. They have to support,
Mm-hmm.
they have other people that are priorities beyond their employees, especially as we get more into the AI world. They're not built to support us. They're not built to be loyal to
Not
us.
anymore. It used to be that back in the day, maybe your dad or grandparent or somebody would say, stick with your company. There's a
Yes.
pension, like you would be
Yes.
rewarded for sticking with said company. But now you're rewarded for leaving every 2 to 3 years and job jumping, because it increases your salary by like 30% every single time that you do it. Instead of staying with your company, and we still now consider it loyalty. I've been here for a while and we get comfortable. But who is it benefiting? It benefits the company because we aren't being paid as much.
Exactly. Exactly. So not only did this pique my interest, like, oh yay, I'm in on a secret, but it just, I'm happy for someone who treats their job like that. Like, you know what? I am going to see what else is out there. It's not like dating. I think it's also ingrained in us a little bit, human beings in general. It's like
Yeah.
once you get in your marriage, once you find the one, okay, you're loyal, you're settled down. You're like, this is where I am. I'm happy. And it would be lovely to be able to do that in a profession. It really would. But
Yeah.
it's not smart. And even my sister-in-law, she'll be at a different job or this and that, she'll be happy, she'll be successful, but she's like, I'm always seeing what else is out there, seeing what my worth is. That's the difference. Like when
Yeah.
you're in a relationship, when you're married, you're not going, let me go out and see what my worth is. I mean,
My
you're
worth it.
committed to this, right?
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
But
hopefully you and your spouse's worth stay, you go like this, and when
yeah.
one is like this, you support each other. That's what it's about. but
Right.
but really, like, you may be going like this and your job isn't
It's
worthy
going
of
down.
you. So
Hmm.
you have to go out and see, what is my worth.
Yeah. And it depends on each job too. Like, are you legally allowed to? I think
Oh
going
yeah.
out there and at least seeing or putting your ear to the ground is definitely okay. But even in our profession, like we're not
Oh
legally supposed to have a conversation with anybody unless you
no.
tell your current employer and all that stuff. However, I think that, if there is, I don't know, a conversation to be had, like, hey, let me know if there's a job opening anytime soon, or
Right.
you've heard of me, we worked
Right.
together before. If anything opens up, give me a heads up.
Right. Exactly. I think that's probably one of this. I look where I am in my career, and I didn't do this. I didn't take those proactive measures. I
Right.
thought I was going to make my mark by just busting it, humping it out, and being like,
Hmm.
look, I'm such a hard worker. Look at me.
Yeah.
That's how I thought what I needed to do. And you would be so much wiser
To do it
to,
the other way.
Yes, to do it the other way. Be like, okay, maybe I've outgrown you. Maybe there's somebody else out there who recognizes what I have
Yeah.
to offer.
So maybe that's your advice to anybody that's starting off in their career or even
Mhm.
mid-level career. Not
Yeah.
that I'm just saying anybody that's kind of like thinking about it,
Yeah.
whatever age, wherever they are.
Yeah.
It's good advice.
Now, the flip side of that is, and I got this advice from someone in our business, like when I was in sports reporting, heavy in sports reporting, someone's like, people like you start off, you're always looking for the next big thing, because it's showbiz or whatever. And they're like, enjoy where you're at and do really well where you're at. That is good when you're starting out,
Mm-hmm.
but you still shouldn't, you can't, especially in showbiz, that's how people rocket to fame sometimes, because they
Yeah.
make that phone call, they accept that invitation
Yeah.
to go audition for something that maybe they're not quite ready for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
So
that risk. Are you a
yeah.
high risk taker?
Mhm.
Or are
Yeah,
you okay, not necessarily settling, but getting comfortable? Or is it like you're too comfortable? I also
exactly.
have something interesting that you said.
Yeah.
I don't know how comfortable I am anymore unless I am very close to you. And I mean extremely close to you, putting your
You
name in the
mean,
hat for a job.
wait. You don't know how comfortable you are sharing
Giving
secrets, you
somebody
mean?
a recommendation for a job. That
Yes.
that has
Yes.
slapped me in the face so many times. Yep.
I have been burned.
Yes, so
And,
many
and
times.
Meredith, I'll take it a step further. It's not just job recommendations.
Yep.
It's also, hey, so and so sells widgets and you're in the market for widgets. Go to so and so and buy them. I buy my widgets there and I love them. Like, I've been burned where someone's gone to buy a widget and the person who I sent burned me because they were a poor customer. Like,
Yes.
honest to God,
Yeah.
sometimes you are so right. Unless you share a bed with someone,
Right. Like a
you're really
best
close.
friend. Yes. I'm
It's
not doing it
hard.
anymore. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
It's funny you say
bad
that.
customers, bad or even like restaurants. People are so picky. I've recommended like Michelin star restaurants, and anything. Insert your favorite restaurant, anybody that's listening right now. And all of a sudden they go and they're like, wasn't that good? The this, the that. It could be the service or the appetizer you love. It
Yeah.
just, and I'm just kind of like, I'm really done unless it's you or somebody I share a bed with or something like that. I really am done. And I'm done hearing just people bitch and they don't represent themselves nicely. So now you're treating the person that owns the business
Right.
like complete dog shit. I don't like that at all. It really
Or
bothers me.
what if you say to someone like, hey, yes, go to such and such place. And then they go in and then they say, Meredith sent me, and then they act like they're entitled to XYZ. Yeah, you're right.
Right.
It can go south. Yeah.
Can I get that VIP discount? Oh, what VIP discount? Well, something. I never got a whatever discount, like,
Yeah.
but I don't know how you assumed that you were, or I even got anything. Yeah,
Yes.
and so they'll try to work the system by using your name too. And I'm just like, I'm very confused here. You said you needed new tires, or like, I don't know, a trinket or something like that. And I wouldn't send you to any establishment, food place, or they're selling something and it was bad. So the fact that people just are just so rude and they just don't care and they're very selfish these days. I will say, um, uh, a family member needed a job years ago. This is just one of the
Mhm.
multitude. Okay. It was like, hey, I would really like to work at the station. Love him. Love, 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 love. Anyway, after like a month or two, this person was fired. And I'm like, what the hell happened? I'm like I know this person. This person is a hard worker, blah, blah, blah. Well, then said that person's boss was the complete opposite, saying like that's not what happened. They did this, they did that. And I'm thinking to myself, like, that doesn't make any sense. And then so now
And then you're in the middle of it.
right. I'm not doing it anymore, Roxanne. I'm not.
No.
If I have to write a letter of recommendation, and I know you will, I'm more than happy to. But even that is really risky.
Yeah, it's so funny. There's another friend of mine. He's like, I don't do it. I will not do any of that. And I'm like, I get it now. I just got
Yeah.
burned. I can't think of the example, but I was just telling my husband the other day. I was like, I got burned. I
Yeah.
introduced so and so, and it wasn't even a blind date. It wasn't anything like that. It was just it was a business opportunity of some kind. And sometimes you're damn for trying.
I know.
You just, so yeah, you're right. But you want to be helpful. You want to be gratuitous. Okay. So what about just, which I'm about to do right now, an email introduction? Can I even
Oh.
introduce a couple people?
Yes, I feel like that's good because that's just entry level. You're not
Yeah, it's not the recommendation. It's like
it's not
you feel them
insistent.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not heavily insisting on whatever. And I it's gonna happen again. I swear to
Yeah.
God, because you and I are very nice and helpful and we want the best for everybody. And if I can help connect this person, they can go here.
Yeah.
Plus, I like that storyline. It might be a little
Yes.
selfish, but like I helped this person get here
Right.
and
Oh, that's
blah
so
blah
cute.
blah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But isn't that the goal? Like seeing
Yeah.
people reach those
Succeed.
aspects, right? And so, but it has bit me in the ass so many times. But an email introduction, I think is totally fine.
Okay. So now I want to talk like about really ticky tacky stuff. So when you do an email, this girl said this to me the other day and I was dying laughing. She goes, yeah, when I'm doing, like when I'm meeting someone for the first time on email, she goes, I try to put enough exclamation points in there to show I'm enthusiastic and excited, but not so many that they think I'm crazy.
Right.
Like what's the number of exclamation points? Like you start
That's
off
funny.
with one. Hey, great to meet you! Exclamation point.
Right.
Then do you finish with one? Like, how many do you put in there? Like,
It depends on the scenario, and it also depends on the person and how buttoned up the place is.
Yeah.
Because that can come off very immature.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm not. I don't know what we were talking about, by the way, but this is just my
Yeah.
opinion. Yeah.
No,
You
I
want
hear
the
you.
person
I hear you.
excited for the job, but it can come off like a little desperate too. Like, how much do you need this job? Maybe I can get you because you'll be more affordable. You know what I mean? Got to play the medium ground.
But now some people, we're skewing younger.
Yeah.
Now when you don't have them, people are like, well, that's like rude.
I know.
Just have all these periods, no exclamation points.
Yeah, you're boring. Yeah, you're gross. Now with there certain emojis where like the thumbs up is seemed to be extremely
Passive
rude.
aggressive.
Passive aggressive, that was the word I was thinking of. Yeah. And honestly, I can put myself in the Gen Z space and I can kind of see it. I can kind of see it because I don't use thumbs up.
Yes. Yeah. But but your intentions. When I do it, I'm like, okay, cool. Gotcha. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Boom. Yes, I like it. Gotcha. That's what my thumbs up generally means understood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
Like we're good to go. Thank you very much.
But then if someone sends me something, I'm talking business wise too, even then sometimes you're like, okay, perfect. I love this. Love. Mm-hmm. And then my husband tells me, I don't heart any women's text messages, by the way, Roxanne, because he saw my phone and he saw me like hearting. It was like guys.
But it's easy. It's an easy like. Guys. It's a like, love what you said. Yeah.
A heart isn't I love this or I love you. A heart is another affirmation. It's just a little bit more enthusiastic and less than a thumbs up.
Well, you don't have a wiener, so it's different. If a guy does it, it could be misconstrued as something else. From you, if you know you, or even if you don't know you that well, like that's just a feminine thing. Like you can get away with it. Okay. And it has nothing to do with anything. No intimacy or anything.
But then if guys love stuff, then it's
all the time. Whoa, this guy's like, whoa, put it back in your pants. I didn't mean it like that. It's just different. It's different for guys and for girls. I think it's cute when girls do that. And by the way, I work with some guys like I don't know, on Microsoft Outlook. Like if I comment like, oh, can we wait for this or that or something like that, and then they'll sometimes they'll do the thumbs up or they'll do a heart. I never think of it any other way.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't think of it as sexual or they're hitting on me. I just feel like this is just work and they really loved what I said.
Yeah.
Obviously. Why would they not?
And they probably also have a crush.
Maybe, you never know. So maybe those hearts are like, so it could be read a different way. Okay, but wait, I have a question for you. Have you ever set anybody up where it didn't work out and they got mad at you?
I'm actually, it's so funny you say this. I'm in the process of that right now.
What?
And
I'm hooking 2 people up?
I'm trying to set 2 people up. It's an out of town thing. So I thought that was good because there's a lot of room. There is room for error. Like you don't like each other, it's fine. You just be like, oh man, we haven't been able to connect.
Yeah.
But Here's the problem.
What?
I oversold her age accidentally.
Okay, oversold as in what?
Because this person was just looking for a woman between 30 and 40.
Between a
And
box.
yes, this person is in her 40s, looks amazing, but then so like I thought, okay, well, I think is she 39? Is she 42? I couldn't
How are you
remember.
supposed to know? And a lot of girls, by the way, guys are supposed to ask. I've never been up to my girlfriend and been like, "How old are you?" Or like, it's literally not a part of the conversation.
So, some people
At least for
ask me
me.
sometimes a bit, how old's this person? How old's she? How's it? I'm like, I just go, what difference does it make? Like, what does it matter?
Yeah.
And so but this guy wanted a girl in his 30s or 40s. So I was like, she's great looking. He should be able to
Yeah, it doesn't
accept
matter.
that. So then I talked to him. So I talked to her. I was like, are you interested? And she goes, yeah, I think I'm interested. Then I talked to him, and then he was like, yeah, they really got to be 30 to 40. I go, what kind of range are you looking for? And so now I'm thinking, if you're such a stickler on that, then this could go really south. Because at first I was like, yeah, I think she's 39. And now I'm like, I don't think she's 30,
Yeah,
So
but then you have to do some digging and stuff. Like, I would let it go. And
Just
if
let it
anybody
go.
comes back to you, just be like, "Oh, I had no idea." Like
Yeah. Okay.
I thought I Googled it and it was wrong, because I
Okay.
didn't know her age. So I Googled it and like the first number that came up was this number, was like
Yes.
38, 39. But I would just let it ride out, because that's really not
Okay.
your responsibility. Like,
Yes.
again, it's not top of mind with my girlfriends. Do I know how old all my girlfriends are? Yeah, but it's literally not because of anything else besides
Right.
just
Because you have a
growing up
history.
together.
Yeah.
Right. It's nothing, because it's always a part of the conversation.
Yeah, exactly. So I have a couple other things to talk to you about today. We have our occupational therapist coming to the house. I told you about that with my daughter's thumbs, how she presses on her thumbs. I'm really excited about it. And I was talking to my other girlfriend whose daughter sees her for something. And I said, is she helping with this issue? And she said, I don't know. I don't know if it's like placebo effect, I don't know if it's getting better. It's something similar to my daughter. But she said, but I feel like I'm giving my daughter resources. I'm giving her tools. I'm helping her have a relationship with someone, an adult who she can talk to, a trusted adult. And that's what we all need in this world is to feel like, if I have an issue, I have someone I can go talk to.
Yes.
Because we all need, mental health at some point or another to not have a stigma with those types of things.
For sure. It's interesting how so many people will go to the gym or they'll take their vitamins. Last time I talked to you, we were talking about getting your blood checked, and how important it is. And then, but we never do anything for our brain. Okay, we might read every now and then to help.
Soul. Yeah.
Oh, correct. Yeah. And that. Absolutely. Spirituality. And so, yeah, it's interesting to me. And it's very old school, kind of like brute, kind of like guy. Like, I don't need therapy. I don't need to talk to anybody. And most of those guys are the loneliest in the entire world.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Because there's no connection to anybody else. Or, I mean, how can you go through life and never experience heartbreak or heartache or anxiety or depression over something, and what you're just supposed to wait? I feel like that is so not 2025 anymore. Like, it's acceptable to go talk to somebody. As a matter of fact, most guys these days are talking about the fact that they go talk to somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
Not all the guys, but it happens. And I like that.
Happens.
I'm a big proponent of, like, I've never talked to a guy or a girl and they told me, yeah, this is my therapist said, or I'm speaking to a therapist, and I've ever thought anything bad. Me personally.
Never. Right.
This is a step in the right direction.
I immediately think to myself, like, okay, you care enough about, like, honestly, when you go to a therapist, a lot of times you're like, I've got to fix myself. And there's that element, but really you're fixing yourself so you can be better for other people around you. I look at it as like, you're trying to improve yourself so you can be better for the people that need you in your life.
Yes.
Okay. This is what happens when you're besties and you're like, oh my gosh, we got to catch up. I have so many things I want to talk to you about. So this just happened today at my day job. We did a segment on the Sunscreen Film Festival, which is a really prestigious film festival here in our Tampa Bay area. And they bring in great films. And Meredith, I got goosebumps. I don't know if you remember this story. Do you remember it? Just something you said about a man being strong. It just jogged my memory. Do you remember the NFL football players who drowned in the tragedy when they were all stuck on the boat?
Yes, I do remember that.
That was 16 years ago. It
Oh
was
my
Corey White, I
God.
believe his name was, a Bucks player, Marquise Cooper, and a football player also, and he did play for the Bucks at one point in time. Will Bleakley, he went to played at USF, and then Nick Schuyler was the one who was saved. So they are doing a documentary about this,
Wow.
and it's airing at the Sunscreen Film Festival. I know what jogged my memory along the lines of what you're saying about I can't say that word. Can you say it, please?
Spirituality.
Spirituality. There we go.
Yes, ma'am.
When I was interviewing them today, I was just like, how can there, I was talking to the director about, what these guys went through, who passed, what their families went through. And I'm like, there cannot not be a better place for people to go to. There has to be, because one of the men I was learning about, some of the tragedies his family has gone through, even after that, his parents.
Oh my gosh.
And it's just heartbreaking stuff. And you're like, in my head, I'm just like, this is hell on earth for them, losing their son because they were parents to one of the boys.
Right.
And I just think to myself, like, there has to be a place. They will be all this torture that they've gone through in their earthly existence. They will get through.
Eventually.
Yeah, there has to be a place of peace where they'll be reunited. I mean, it's impossible for that not to be the case.
Yeah, I totally think that as well. And I know, nobody necessarily knows, but it's just very comforting to also think that, we were talking about it earlier today, at my other day job was it today or yesterday? And it was a kid, and he was talking about a car. The boy was like 5 or 6, and he was talking about a previous car accident. It was I
was listening to you the other day. Was this the day you were hearing about the boy who had a imaginary friend? Was it that day?
It was imaginary, and it sounded like a past life situation.
Yes.
And a soul that was transferred or reborn. And so, of course, again, we don't know, but I hear about this stuff often. And then it is very interesting how children can perceive different spirits, or they can feel out because they're so innocent. So that's what the story was about, and how he kept talking about this accident that happened like 6 years ago. And then how could this child know so much information about something that was such a long time ago, and he can't even use, Google search or anything like that. And so I don't know about soul transference, if that's how you say it. I don't know. Okay. But especially being raised Catholic, like, I absolutely believe that there's something bigger and bigger out there.
100%. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And it's very comforting, especially if you go through tragedy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That you will see your loved ones again. 100%.
Yeah. So what happened with the boaters? What, I don't know.
No. Good questions. Good questions. So they were out at sea, and I think what happened is, and I'm not a boating person, so I don't know the mechanics, but the anchor was stuck. They were in a storm, and somebody had the idea to tie the anchor at some particular place. Another person had an idea to gun the boat. We're talking about, so there was a lot of strife between the families who lost their kids, and I can only imagine the survivor's guilt that Nick Schuyler has dealt with his whole life. He can't go anywhere. Everyone's like, oh wait, do I know him? Oh, he was the one who, it's just always brought. I was reading something. He said anytime he sees water, I mean, he can't get away from it. Yeah. And I feel like so that's what happened. But you just look at it and say nobody was to blame. These are 26-year-olds. No one was nefarious. Nobody did anything. It was an accident. It was kids, if you weren't skilled enough to make those proper boating decisions in a panic situation, can't say that an experienced captain would do the right thing. You're panicking. So it's just an absolute tragedy. And I just was, when I was doing this interview, I was just overcome with this feeling of like, we go somewhere better. We go somewhere better. We absolutely do. But to your other question, they were out at sea. You've got to see this documentary, because they had this. Nick Schuyler's being saved is like one of the Coast Guard's crowning achievements. He was out there, I want to say 72 hours. That number's popping in my head right now, but he was out there lost at sea for days, multiple days.
Holy crap.
And getting hypothermia, and it was crazy. But the rescue mission, just to see that is it's unbelievable.
Was it caught on camera? I'm sure that's on the documentary as well.
I would think so. I
remember this story. I mean, this was everywhere, especially
it's
since
tragedy.
I mean, football players, all that kind of stuff, and then families local to the Tampa Bay area.
You know, one of the gentlemen who passed, Marquise Cooper, I interviewed him one time for the Bucks, and I mean, I know you've been in the Bucks locker room, interviewed gazillions of players over the years, and some stick with you, but for some reason, and I don't know if it was because it was after the fact that I remembered it, but I can picture it's such a strong memory talking to him. I can see his sweet face. He was such a nice guy. And I was trying to get to know him, like one of those player interviews, getting to know someone. Asked about his dad, who was a sportscaster in Arizona. And I remember all he said is like, what do you like to do in your free time? He's like, fish. He's like, I just love fishing.
Yeah.
I just love it. And you could see his whole face light up. You know, he was just, that was his thing. Fishing was his thing.
Yeah, that's the tragedy can affect you in a different way. That's another reason why I feel like going to therapy, especially going through a big traumatic experience like that, can be extremely beneficial as well. It's tough because you never know what you're going to go through in your life, and you think maybe you haven't gone through anything yet, and then also if you haven't gone through too much, then also you may beat yourself up because, well, why am I so perfect? Why this and that? And a lot of people actually go through that. It's crazy. It's crazy what the mind can do. You know what I mean? It's insane. Yes,
absolutely. Okay, so I have something else. What do you have going on? I have so much to talk to you about. One other thing I have to tell you about.
No. Go ahead.
Okay, so it's Evelyn's birthday today. And
well, happy birthday.
Thank you. She didn't want to have a party because she wants to go and have a shopping spree at the mall. So I'm giving her money to go have a shopping
spree. That's my girl.
That's
my girl.
Right? Good choice. Smart choice.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Party? No. Is Miss Emma here? Did you say yes or no? Yeah. Wait. Come in. Is Miss Emma here? Oh, look who it is.
Is it the birthday girl?
My birthday girl.
Happy birthday, love. You look beautiful. Okay, so we don't want a birthday party?
No, but she did want to do something fun with her cousins. So guess what we're doing, Meredith? I'm not a crafty mom, but I'm a good.
It's so fun.
I'm a good
storyteller. What are you doing?
So I'm making a mystery, and I'm going to bury clues all around this one shopping area.
Oh,
and they have to read the clues, and so it's like a mystery story.
It's called Highland Park, and then it starts at my aunt's house, and then we're gonna go all down the street, then to the shops.
Yeah, to solve a mystery.
And like to the parking lots.
Yes.
And then the mystery is like the birthday girl, Evelyn, was supposed to get a necklace.
A jewel
necklace in the mail, but somebody stole it. Who could it be?
And it's one of our family members. And so there are clues like where you eliminate.
And there's like Naughty Nana and
Rebellious Roxanne was she the thief?
I see that. Yes, definitely. Yes. Oh, you're gonna have so much fun. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited for you. And maybe we'll get something special at some of those shops, maybe.
Oh yeah.
Because it's your birthday. How old are you? I know. How old are you today?
8.
You're 8 years old?
Isn't it crazy? 8's a big one.
I know. I thought you were 18. She's not 18.
I have a hairstyle.
You're not 18? Okay, so Miss Emma is here.
But she is?
Yeah.
I'll be back and tell you if she's
here. You take your time, birthday girl. Oh my gosh. You have your hands full. You go have fun. Enjoy the birthday party. These are the moments. These are them. Enjoy. Take the pictures.
Exactly.
And then get off your phone and enjoy the moments. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm so happy for you. Seriously. Birthday parties are the best. And I love how creative you are.